voted, yeah.
That's some other view. And then there's also other feelings around. Okay. But I think it would be good for people to get a sense of what happened in the main INEC Coalition Center. And indeed, Obasanjo, former president, has also come out to say that the process
I think we can go to
so let's
that
go and hear
before
those first.
So if we can... do you know so issues he raised during that at the coalition center? I mean, he was very he was very vocal,
very
about,
angry that and I think he has a point, because if you've all agreed to a procedure, the least the INEC could do is to say this is the reason we've not been able to upload the results, but to just go ahead and keep announcing results.
Okay, let's play. Let's play that video quickly, and then we'll look into his issues.
We are in this country, and the INEC made a press statement when uploads were not done. You even said there was no hacking of your server and all that. And everyone sitting there is either a Christian or a Muslim. And you know there was problem with uploading your results. Till this minute I'm speaking, many results have not been uploaded on your server. So you cannot be using justification that votes took place at the polling unit when INEC failed. Casted in each polling unit. We will have access to them, and I will not be asking questions here. But as I speak to you, those results were not uploaded for hours. Yesterday, I complained to you, the chairman. I complained to 2 other commissioners, and in my presence, they called, where even the director of ICT was saying they should use offline to upload. So if results were not uploaded, we as parties cannot be challenged that the process is over. The process is not over because it is faulty. Results were not uploaded, and if those results were not uploaded, we are definitely going to contest the authenticity of whatever presentation is being made here. And finally, sir, I want to challenge any returning officer from any state coming here, because there's penalty for you if you lie or if you alter anything. Tell us before you start your presentation that what you are presenting before cameras, that what you are presenting is what is uploaded on INEC website. Please say that and see if you have given wrong information, you will not go to jail. Uploaded is what he presented. We cannot continue collection. It's not possible. We will not allow it. At least the collection officer must tell us that what is presenting is in consonance with what was uploaded. If that is not done, then there's an infraction of the Electoral Act, and we will not allow it. And we cannot continue with collection.
Thank you very much. Coalition Secretariat, any more? Thank you, Rek Kwara.
If a coalition officer will not come up and tell us that what is uploaded is you don't want to show us, you don't want him to tell us, one of the two must happen. We are Nigerians, we will defend our rights. This election, we will serve with our blood, we will make sure that the right thing is done. If there is difficulty in uploading it, there's no difficulty in the returning officer telling us that what is uploaded is what is presented. And if that is a lie, you will meet in the court of law.
Okay, thank you very much. Next state.
No, we cannot have another state, sir. We cannot have another state.
You are now being...
We cannot, sir.
You are now being disruptive.
I am not disrupting. The Electoral Act says that what is uploaded
you are now being disruptive.
You can bundle me out. but the right thing must be done. I'm a party agent.
You are
That is
now-
what the
You are
Constitution
now
says.
being
What is uploaded is
next.
not
So that's Dino Milai raising concerns with regards to how the elections were put in the system. But I think he's raising genuine questions.
Yes, and for me, the EC chairperson to be finished with the process so that if there's a challenge or a complaint, they will hear it. You see. But, and this is something ECs do in Africa where they say,
Yeah.
you know, it's almost like if you have a problem, let us finish the announcement. But the
There's
process
a problem with the process.
is as much as important
Yeah.
as the product.
Yeah.
And I think that the chairperson of the EC, based on my reading of the Nigerian electoral law, probably ought to have given an explanation as to why the uploads was not done. Because they did promise that they would make sure the results were uploaded onto the server so that doubts will be erased. Now, the other thing you need to notice is that the results are coming in geographical blocks. So, for example, as of yesterday when we started the show, of the 6 southwestern states, all 6 had come. This is the stronghold of the APC. They had come. Then you notice that a lot of the states in the northwest started coming. Kebbi, what do you call it? Katsina. We have Kaduna as well. This is the stronghold of the PDP. The only major stronghold of the Labour Party that has come is Enugu. Okay, so some people feel of the Labour Party, if you want to sort of maintain Tinubu's victory, because what you've done is that you've given psychologically 6 of Tinubu's states. He's won Oyo, he's won Oshun, he's won Ondo, he's won Ekiti, he's won Kwara State, he's won Niger State, he's lost Oshun and Lagos. And he said, oh, I accept the Lagos result. Because when he puts the overall stronghold together, he's still in the lead.
Yeah.
Then you start bringing the northern votes where he's doing very well, matching Atiku.
Yeah.
So by the time you bring in the strongholds of, and again, you could also say that it's because there were issues with voting in the southeast, where people said the voting started late, counting went into the next day. So this could be normal, but the you know, and this is the typical thing you see in Africa. The guy is screaming, and the boss is like, you know what, you finish and let me continue my
I'm
process.
just moving on with their lives.
You know, meanwhile, what he's saying is germane to the process, which is why you're seeing already a lot of the observers are questioning aspects of the election.
True.
And Obasanjo's statement is basically saying the process should be halted because it's flawed. Okay, so we have a disputed election on our hands.
Is it far-fetched for those who are saying they should cancel and read?
I don't have any logical explanation as to how the concerns raised by the main opposition parties will be addressed in the process. The process is going to be flawed. So I don't have all the details to say they should cancel the election maybe too early. You can have to declare the election and then let's see. But for me, you know, it's a bit of a setback to hype this election as one of Africa's most digital elections. You're going to have servers, you're going to upload the information. I mean, they really raised the profile of this thing, only to go back to manual.
But why do African nations?
How much time do you have on your hands?
We saw some here. I mean, I'll give you the Obasanjo video. The
Mental mistrust. Howard, you can have as many laws as you can. You can bring in the most sophisticated. The principle is that the rules must apply. So when you have a rule, so you can have an election with no technology, but the rules apply to a clean election. So the basic problem is that in Africa, we don't allow institutions to function. I mean, for example, why would a sitting president go and cast his ballot and take a picture of the ballot and show it to the world? When your electoral law, I mean, I don't think a Ghanaian president will do that.
No.
Where it's like, imagine Nana Akufo-Addo. he goes to vote in Ebuakwa South, and then he takes a photo of his. He will never do that. Because we have understood some basic things. But the Nigerian president did that.
And we're seeing that among prominent people and all that. I think it's a norm.
So that's the point about rule of law. You see, democracy. Oh, Oga, whatever you say. We are biggest democracy. You shouldn't have a president violate your electoral law on national television, and there's no inquest because he's the president. I mean, if he is only president because the law makes him president, and if he cannot abide by the law, the constitution is useless.
Right. Bernard, let's look at the results that are coming in. In a bit, we'll go to the Obasanjo's issues. But from between yesterday and today, what do we know in terms of the results?
Well, I could go and show you.
Yes, please.
If you want me to go
I want you to give me a graphic picture.
What we're seeing is that Nigeria has 36 states, and they are into 6 geographical. Or so states are out. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who's the incumbent APC candidate, is leading with 7.5 million votes. The PDC's Atiku has a little over 6 million votes. And the Labour Party's Peter Obi is third with 4.3 million votes. But this doesn't really tell the story for 2 reasons. To win an election in Nigeria, if there's more than 2 candidates in an election, you need to do 2 things. Number 1, you need to secure. It doesn't have to be 50%. It just has to be the maximum number of votes. But you also need to win 25% at least in about 2/3 of Nigeria. Nigeria has 36 states, so 2/3 of that will give you 24 states and FCT. So if you look at the way this works, we can take it one by one. This is the general picture. So the blue is for APC. So these are states that APC is either won or is leading. Okay? The red is for PDP. These are states that the PDP has either won or is leading. And then the green is for Labour Party. States that they've either won or they are leading. This light green is the only difference. Kano, this is where the NNPP is won. So that's the first point to note. Now, the Nigerian election results started coming, as I said, in a sort of sub-regional blocks. So when we started, when the results started coming in, results from the southwest came in earlier. Okay, just give me a minute. Let me sort this out.
To close.
Results from the southwest came in a bit earlier. So you notice that we got to know was within the stronghold of the APC. When we are counting, there are 24 states that they have at least 25%. Ekiti State will not be part. And we're counting, there are 24 states. Because they got 29% in Ekiti. Ekiti will be one of those states.
Because it has to be more than 24, right?
So that's a very important point to note. So when we started yesterday, Ogun was won by APC's Tinubu. Oyo won. Ondo won. Ekiti won. Kwara is also within the Yoruba enclave, also won by the APC candidate. Now, the first big story from yesterday was Lagos, right? Which is the heartland of Tinubu's kingdom. Which the Labour Party, with no structures, no senators, no governors, won 500,000. Second big story, Osun State in the heartland. PDP's Atiku, who's from the north. So that was the first story from yesterday. Good. The other story we noticed from yesterday was a low turnout. So Vivian, let's look at these numbers a bit closely. Look at Lagos State. Lagos State has 7. Let me go to Lagos State, forgive me. Lagos State has 7 million registered voters. Labour Party, and they've counted all 20 local government areas. So this is the final result for Lagos State. half a million voters for Labour Party, a bit of 500,000, a bit of 500,000 for APC, 75,000 for PDP. This whole thing is about 1.2 million. The rest of the 18 parties together got less than a percentage. How on earth is an election with long queues producing 1.2 million votes cast and counted out of 7 million?
7 million.
Where are the 5.8 million people? This trend goes throughout the country. Or your state. Registered voters, 3.2 million. APC, 400,000. So if you put this 400, this is 600, 700,000. Maybe 700,000 votes. Probably less, because this is like, 650,000.
But doesn't this bring to the fore questions of the numbers itself, whether what is given is really what it is?
No, that we don't want to jump there yet, because if you look at Nigeria's elections, so let me give you a good example. If you take Ghana's elections from 92, our turnout shuttles between 85% turnout. If you take Nigeria's past 4 elections, in the election, so a lot of the north states, the northwestern results also started coming in, right? Kaduna State, registered voters 4.3 million, okay? PDP 550,000, APC 300. So let's say this together is 900,000 plus 300, 1.2 million. 1.2 million votes out of 4.3 million. The turnout, it's everywhere, right? Yeah. Let's go to Kebbi State. Registered voters, a little bit over 2 million. PDP 280, APC 240. Atiku, registered voters 100,000. All right, it's everywhere. Go to Bauchi State. All right, registered voters, and all these places I'm pointing, results are fully out. 2.7 million registered voters. Look at the number of votes: 300,000 plus 150, maybe 460, 500,000 votes. You know, so that's then the other point we notice is that the results. So even though right, Mr. Atiku's northern stronghold, which the APC has done very well to divide, he's in second position, but he's not beating Tinubu by the margins you expect. Because let me show you something. Let's take you to 2019. This is the APC's victory in 2019. All the blue. So you know. Bola. Northwestern state. Buhari won this comfortably. APC has split it. So they've taken half of votes that you expect Atiku to take. Because people are voting based on where you are coming from. Zamfara State, right? 1.9 million votes. All 14 local government areas are out. What are we seeing? PDP 39%, 38%. So what I'm trying to say to you is that these figures that you see, 7.5, 6 million, 4.3, is not kosher yet, because let's go to the stronghold of Peter Obi, which is what gives the obedience a bit of hope, which makes them believe that this election is theirs. Let's take it one by one, Vivian. The main stronghold of Peter Obi is the 5 southeastern states. They are all Igbos. I don't know if this is big enough or whether I should make it a bit bigger.
Open it a bit up and push it
so,
up.
This is Peter Obi's stronghold. There are 5 states: Enugu, Ebonyi, Anambra, Abia, and Imo State. The only one that is fully out, Enugu State. Let's see what he votes. He got 97% of the votes, Vivian.
Yeah.
Labour Party won this by landslide. PDP is second with 15,000 votes.
Just 15,000.
APC is 31% of the vote. Again, look at the turnout. 2.1 million registered voters. Total votes cast less than 500,000. So 25%. So we notice that trend across the country. So that's not such a big issue. The problem though is only one of his strongholds have fully come out in terms of real strongholds. Let's take Anambra. In Anambra, only 4 out of 21 local government areas. There are 30. He's in more votes there. Abia State, Abia State has 2 million voters. You expect him to get more numbers there. Imo State, there are 27 local government areas. Only 7 are out. So your Peter Obi's 4 million is going to go up significantly if these 5 come. The other issue is that, let me even add South-South. Now the South-South is still a Peter Obi stronghold, but not like the Southeast. South has 14 million voters. Southeast has 11 million. But let's look at his performance. Edo State, only 5 out of the 18 are out. He's in a good lead. 70, 15, 12. All right? Let's go to Delta. Delta, 21 out of 25 is out. He's in the lead. You see the picture I'm painting?
Yeah.
Rivers.
So you feel he still has hope
His
based on what we're
numbers
seeing?
will go. The figures you see up there, and I keep going back to this, please permit me. So, which is why I'm saying that this man, who's 7.5 million, you see, his strongholds are now coming.
And his strongholds, roughly, based on the low turnout and all that, if he's able to win most of them, what figures are we looking at?
So it's a very good question you've asked, and I'll try and answer it in 2 ways. The key to elections and first past the post is what is called delta or spread. Pardon the pun with Delta State. So what I'm trying to say is that Lagos has 7 million voters. So Peter Obi will get 582,000. APC gets 572,000. So these are big numbers. But because take APC has 4,000. So he has 424,000 more than the APC. So even though in Lagos, his 500,000 gave him only a 10,000 spread, in Enugu he has 400,000 spread. Do you follow my logic? So the states are not that big. But if the trend Enugu is showing us is anything to go by, he will need just about 5 or 6 states to close the gap on the other 2.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily win him the election because he does very poorly everywhere else.
Exactly.
So whilst these 2 he's not raising enough of a performance across the country to satisfy the Part B of Article 134 Clause 2. That is the problem. So what will lead to a runoff? If Peter Obi wins the popular vote but fails to win the 25% in the 24 states, he pushes a runoff.
Are you seeing that?
It's checkered. Now, the reason why this is checkered is that, again, if you want to test the pulse of a country, and yesterday I said this, I want to repeat this. So if you look at Ghana, the way Accra votes is usually let's go to 20. It's very rarely that you have somebody winning Lagos and
not
losing.
winning the election.
This is 2015. Same issue. We could take you all the way back. What am I trying to say? Lagos and Abuja, to an extent, are like the bellwethers for what the middle classes think.
What do we have with Abuja results?
Good question. So this is where I'm going. So Peter Obi's challenge in terms of what he's bringing to this election, which is exciting people, is that he's won Lagos. Look at what he's doing in Abuja. This is Federal Capital Territory. This is where decision makers live. This is where the elite, and they've counted all their 6 local government areas. Labour Party
It's one that
slide
281,000.
right. So the thinking of the elite, Peter Obi,
Yeah.
APC 20%, PDP 16%. Right? Now, based on even the reading of the Constitution, I don't know whether that 25% must include Abuja, because what Peter Obi has done in Abuja is unbelievable. All right? Third point, the most populous state in Nigeria, apart from Lagos, is this state.
Kano.
So, I call Kano the political capital of northern Nigeria. Islamic cleric in Sokoto is a sultan. This guy, from a theological point of view, is higher. But this guy, from a political and resource point of view, is higher. Another place in the country apart from Lagos that has this. So this 5.9 million is second only to Lagos. If you look at even Kaduna, Kaduna has 4.3 million. If you look at Katsina, Katsina is much smaller, 3.5 million. So if you take the northern Nigeria, this is a powerful state. Look at how they voted. 60% of the voters want their former governor to be president.
Former governor to be president.
He's called Rabiu Kwankwanso.
Now, is that surprising there?
It's not, because he was a very popular governor.
Yeah.
And this is the reason this election is together. We'll not even be having a conversation.
Yeah.
This election has been over.
Yeah, straight.
All right. APC Tinubu gets 30% of the votes in Kano. So somebody can say that Lagos, Abuja, and Kano have rejected APC.
Yeah.
And you'll not be wrong to say that.
Yeah.
I mean, they didn't vote for Labour, they didn't vote for PDP,
No.
but they voted for somebody else.
Somebody else, totally.
All right. So, and Kano is very key. Some people think that if the opposition parties had come together, obviously, if, for example, if Rabiu Kwankwanso was the running mate of Peter Obi, and he was able to bring this Kano vote on board, we have a different conversation.
Yeah.
Because this is almost 1 million votes.
1 million, yeah.
Okay? Or if Peter Obi and Atiku had settled their differences, we don't know if in the southeast should tell you that if indeed, if you put the two of them together, already the election would have been over. Okay? Because where are we? You have 6 million plus 4 million. The election would have been over. Yeah. Okay? Fractions. Final point I'll make before I take my seat, Vivian. This election has thrown up many surprises. Let me give you an example. Bayelsa State. This is South-South. The strength of the PDP has been proved in Bayelsa State. Don't forget, this is the area of Goodluck Ebele Jonathan.
Well, what led to that? The improvement?
So, PDP as a political party is very strong in the southeast and the south-south. So, the the PDP machine has delivered 42%. So PDP won it well.
Yeah.
All right. Akwa Ibom is not done. 9 out of 31. Because Taraba is just next to the Adamawa. So far, only one is out. He's doing well. Plateau State, which has Jos, Plateau is like a mixed bag in the middle zone of Nigeria. Look at what Peter Obi did in Plateau State. I just want to show you how many of yes, Plateau State is out. Peter Obi's won it 45%. That's a very good performance. Strong Christian population in Plateau State. A bit of a surprise in Benue for those who've been watching, because he did a healthy second in Benue, but the APC. So you can say Bola Tinubu can argue that I am the most national of all the three. I'm winning in the north, I'm winning in the southeast, I'm winning in north central, I'm winning in northeast. Of course, this is not fully out. I'm winning everywhere.
Yeah.
He's probably the only place he hasn't won is in the southeast and the south.
So he's the most comfortably in lead now.
I don't think it's as comfortable, but there's a clue there, because the opposition have, usually before these opposition parties do anything, they know something you don't know. For the PDP to leave the coalition center, and for Labour and Obasanjo and all the things they are saying, I think they believe that the way the numbers are going, the numbers are being massaged to allow Tinubu's lead to remain intact.
The same.
Which is why the way the results, you see, if you had uploaded everything ab initio into the server, all of us will know at the same time everything. From an outside perspective, from a numbers perspective, the election is not over. We wait to see what happens.
Okay, so you gave an interesting perspective on the Kano, why we are seeing the NNPP guy, former governor, winning that side and all that. I want us to go to our Zoom and speak to a journalist in the Kano State to also pick his mind
to explain this.
On, So, Ibrahim Manso, if you can hear me, welcome to Citi TV.
Yeah, good afternoon from Nigeria.
Yeah, still morning here in Ghana, but good afternoon to you there. And then
that's true. Good morning, Ghanaians.
Great. So, Kano State,
good to be with you guys again.
Thank you. Some interesting developments there. I think you're not surprised with the NNPP winning the 59% we're seeing. That's almost close to 1 million votes, are you?
No, I'm surprised at all. I mean, I was on the field in Kano for 2 days, and you could see people trooped out to vote in NNPP. If we're looking at the results, it just shows how Kwankwaso has shown that, okay, yes, I can actually put you guys down when you guys didn't reach out to me. If they could have reached out to him when he left the party, they could have come out and reach out to him and say, okay, we could find a way and settle our differences. PDP could have been owning those numbers now, but hey, it goes to a different party.
Right. So what does that mean for the PDP in terms of the results they have so far, the impact in terms of getting close to winning the elections?
And the Labour Party, or with what is coming out from Kano, if Kano would have been for APC or PDP, the election would have been decided with the Kano vote. But as it stands now, you can't tell who is going to take the victory at the end of the day, because the numbers that came out from Kanu, it's very, very huge.
So based on what is left of the results, what do you see in terms of the next 12, 15 hours if the rest of the results come in?
There are many speculations that there could be a runoff between the ruling party and the opposition, which is PDP. But with the states collated results that have come out so far, the APC is still on the lead. So far, so good. But if PDP could get their 25%, then we could see a PDP giving a
Brian, can you still hear us?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay. Peter Obi did very well in Lagos and other places, but is it still part of the road?
For a party which is less than a year old in terms of mobilizing their voters, it's still surprising. For him taking Lagos, taking some states in the northern states, and he has clearly taken all over the southeast and south states. So far, the numbers he is getting, PDP is shrinking his numbers, but he's doing well in all this region. But the results coming out from those regions are shrinking his numbers, where it's going to be difficult for him to get the 25% needed to become the next president of Nigeria. For now, with the numbers now, it's clearly between APC and PDP.
Right. What we're also seeing from our analysis here is a low turnout. Is that normal, or it's just, there's something wrong somewhere?
Okay, in terms of low turnout of voters, we could link it to two issues that happened before the general election, which is, I mentioned it yesterday while speaking with some of your colleagues, which is the Naira scarcity, which was brought in by the Central Bank of Nigeria in redesigning some of the currencies, where the citizens are finding it difficult to get cash to use for their daily basis, and the fuel scarcity. So it's more like I'm in pain and you still want me to come out and vote. Let's take, for example, my polling unit. Let's say I'm voting and my polling unit is some few kilometers where I need to transport myself to, and I don't have cash. That I'm in pain, I can't come out and vote. I don't have transport. I don't have a way to transport myself to my polling unit. So that's basically why we're seeing low turnout in some regions in the country.
Right. Now we've seen the likes of Obasanjo, Dino Melaye raising issues with INEC and all that. Genuine concerns over there?
For now, the federal government has issued a statement in more like a response to the former president, who is an elder statesman, that he should respect the rule of law. That it's according to the law, when collation of results have commenced, there's no way it can be stopped. If you have any issues with the result, you are allowed to tell the court whatever problem you have. Him coming out to say the election should be stopped and voting should be done all over again is not right from him. That's what the federal government is saying. But there are a few knocks from Nigerians that, how come you are coming out to say this when under your own government we had worse election than this? I mean, if you go through the Nigerian social media, you could see different knocks from so many places. But basically, the knocks is coming from the ruling party, their followers on social media. They're the one telling that this man, while during your presidency, while you were the president of Nigeria, we had the worst election than this. So why are you coming out now? Let the process start from everywhere is calm, to be honest with you. There's no violence anywhere, but especially for Lagos, where there was a big upset, where the Labour Party won the state, the Bola Ahmed Tinubu had to come out to issue a statement saying that how can Labour Party win the state of the presidential candidate of APC, which is one of the stronghold of the APC. So the statement he issued has put down the whole tension of some certain ethnic groups being attacked in Lagos and in some other parts of the country. So for now, everywhere is calm. People are going about their normal businesses. Banks are open. In fact, I'm just on my way coming from the bank to get some cash. And, everywhere is looking good for now.
Okay.
And we are all waiting for the final result from the collation center in Abuja.
Okay, before I let you go, the supporters of Peter Obi and that of Atiku, how are they taking the results that have so far come in?
Displaying telling Nigerians are not the numbers they have from the field. So it's all mixed up, mixed reactions so far. It's all mixed reactions so far.
Right. Thank you so much. Ibrahim Mansour is a Nigerian journalist joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thinking about PC wins often voting trend had continued, and looking at the fact that Atiku is an Hausa man, if Rabi was not contesting, and if for some reason Atiku had gone the Kano vote, it would have been a different picture. So basically, if you look at the gap between Atiku and of course and Tinubu, if he had even won 60% of Kano, PDP would be in a comfortable. PP has actually affected them more.
The whole thing.
Because this Kano situation, because Kano is massive, is in for Ghana. Alan Trematin, okay, that's not a good example. Take like, Kennedy Japan. Yeah. He runs independent and he wins
and it takes
Ashanti
a huge
region.
chunk of Ashanti.
And then he leaves Baumia and Bamaham and everybody else to fight for the rest. It's like, what has he done?
Yeah.
He has basically, he's gotten, and you can say, if you look at APC's performance, that the person who suffered from Rabiu is PDP.
PDP, that's
because
true.
PDP is getting 131,000.
131, yeah.
All right. So, look, this election has many subplots.
Okay. And apart from the Kano state, are there any other states that the results have been a surprise to you or interesting that you can run us through?
As I said, if you look at, for example, Bayelsa State, with Obi. So for Atiku to win Bayelsa, I believe dynamics at play.
Yeah.
Because there are obviously local dynamics there. The other one, as I've already mentioned, is Osun State, where Atiku, for some reason, managed to win. So Atiku's pulling some interesting surprises.
But are you impressed with Atiku's performance so far?
It's a very difficult question to answer because yes and no.
Yeah.
I'm impressed because, as I've said, Bayelsa, Osun State, but he's not. You see, this is my feeling. The people of Nigeria, generally, they tend to vote on an ethnic basis, at least the three main tribes. Yeah.